people, happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice.
I'll try. I'm never going to be smart, happy, or thin ever again. Oh, and I'm pretty sure I'm turning into a dog.
You're so funny.
Do you ever feel like the big secret is that we are gods?
Well, when I saw the movie Nightbitch, I found it really intriguing because they said it was labeled as a black comedy, but actually you see many genres that are mixed, intertwined with each other. I mean, you have of course, the black comedy, but it can be also serious. So you have drama, you have fantasy, but that's not quite fantasy. It's more that they use the werewolf part is like you don't really know about what it is. You have humor.
They mention magical realism.
Yeah, and that's the first time I heard about this genre actually, because I didn't know it existed. It existed, and that was quite of a great surprise. And also, they have sweet moments. I mean, the scene with Amy Adams and her son as one of the most beautiful scene I've ever saw, because it's really the intimate relationship between the parents. There is something I really love when everybody's on ease, when she eats and she's like, and they play, and I really love that. And the only one who does that as well is the librarian she meets, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. But then I was kind of intrigued because there was all this. The movie was really well done. It's just that they didn't try to put anything in the genre, even though it was a black comedy. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you feel unease. I mean, with the werewolf, for example, you don't know if she's really transforming into a werewolf, or if it's just like the metaphorical ones.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me, well, it's a lot about also the godhood of women as well, how it was also in shamanism and paganism and different religion, having the wolf, the bear, the eagle, the bird, that. And it's quite fascinating. And
yeah, because I wondered at points about that. Is it sort of, how is this transformation occurring? But because they call it magic realism, I just thought, okay, that's it. She's turning into a dog, right? Okay. But I did wonder. My question is, what about those dogs that make friends with her in the park and come and pick her up at night? My feeling was, well, could they be either that librarian and the mamas from the baby tots group?
I had actually, I was wondering that, because it was like, or if it's one of the two mums and the librarian, or all the mums, but basically they are not there. There is not all the group. That's why it didn't make quite a sense. Or maybe one of her friends also from the artist group. Now I'm thinking as well, and it's just today, it just came up to my mind, because it reminds me about what they said about shamanism, about the totem animal. And there's something I realize is that sometimes when you do an experience, or you do a meditation and you see an animal you have, you can see, apparently this animal is basically on protection. And there are a few, but it's only the point of view, and there are some testimony, and we are free to believe it or not. But a lot of people who live this experience, for example, if his totem animal was a bee, if he or she was seeing a bee, they knew they were protected, or they have a sign, or there was something good happening, or they were, like they were protected somehow.
Yeah.
It's really strange. So I was thinking also perhaps, and also, the bee, I don't know if there was one of the testimony that the animal didn't attack them, but just looked at them or guide them. And I was thinking perhaps the dogs are actually totem. They were just interacting with her. because she was one of them,
Yeah.
symbolically speaking.
Yeah, I think it left lots of open sort of questions like that for the audience. Yeah.
What was funny is then when I finished to watch the movie, I had the song of Aha in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It was Cry Wolf. For me, at first, I thought it was a lack of a werewolf song, but then I saw the lyrics after the movie, and it's about Cry Wolf. You know, like the fairy tale, the boy who was crying wolf.
Oh yeah.
He cried once, just for a joke, and everyone comes to him, nothing happens. He do it twice, people come to him, it doesn't happen. A wolf comes to him, he cries wolf, no one comes, he dies.
Yes.
And it's
Cautionary.
about, not to worry about, even though it's like time to worry. Well, the character is worrying in Seven, that song. And funny enough, when I came out of the cinema, it was full moon. So I don't know what it is. This one,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So I
Yeah.
can't explain.
Yeah. Artful timing.
Getting arty.
Oh, something else.
The universe getting arty, does it? How did you find it? What was your impression?
Yeah, I think that I like the magic realism in it. I would have liked to have seen even more of the painting process going on. I thought that was all interesting. I like anything to do with the creative process coming in. That whole concept of sort of, yeah, you just switch over into another animal when it hits you, just like that. It's cool. I love the invented mythology of the book. You know, the book of, what is it called again? The book of A Field Guide to Magical Women. I like this, the whole mythology aspect of it. And they bring in this fictional book that is a catalogue of all these hybrid beings, the bird women, the weir mothers. And then she tries to contact the author and wonders, she's wondering if the author is one of these hybrids. I like that aspect of it. But we never get to meet the author, no.
No. And what I wanted, for me, what I felt and I wanted to know, sometimes in the movies when you read the book, they illustrate. And I thought they would go further during the book, like discovering the different bird women, dogs,
Yes.
because there is a huge mythology. I mean, there are women, half bear, half women, half swan, all of that, all of this mythology throughout the different countries. And I thought they would take also this branch.
Yeah.
It's probably, it's not, it's okay, it's fine because they can't put everything. But this was something I wish they could have explored a bit.
Yes, same here. That would have been, yeah. I mean, I guess it would have taken it into some other realm. I don't know, but that was such a fun concept. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just intrigued about the choice of dog by the original author. The book is by Rachel Yoder, and that, as a novel, is presented as magical realism. And I'm just wondering whether the choice of dog, is that anything at all to do with the modern mythology or modern urban legend, relatively modern urban legend of the dog man?
Yeah, it's actually recent. They're making like videos. Apparently, someone saw the dog man basically. Recent now, they were posting videos or podcasts. Apparently, the dog man was seen somewhere.
Very much around, based in the US and Canada. That these sightings seem to mostly come from there. Let's have a look.
Funny enough, now I'm looking, actually, since the movie, I've seen some of the videos, but all these legends, urban legends like the Mothman, the Chupacabra, the Jersey Devil, Jersey Devil, all of them.
Yeah.
Werewolf from ancient Rome, Dogman and Werewolf.
With the dogman in particular, there's a reported sighting in 1887 in Michigan. And these two lumberjacks working presumably in the forest, and they see this creature with the head of a dog and the body of a man. And then they had other sightings in Michigan.
Wow.
But there's quite a gap before they pop up again, it seems, because the next batch of sightings are in the 1950s and 1960s. Oh, and then there's this photograph that keeps popping up on YouTube in a lot of these scary video nights and,
Yeah.
top 10 ghastly, spooky things. And there's this night watchman took a photograph of a large humanoid near a street light. I think this is the one I've seen a few times now popping up, and it's skeptics say, well, yeah, it's trigger the light, it's somebody standing on a box, it's a prank. It is just an interesting photograph. It's 1961. They didn't have the kind of filters, obviously, phones with the kind of tech that you would have now. And it just seems weird to sort of try and make a photograph that vague if you were deliberately trying to make a prank. I think the problem with the photograph is it is a bit blurred. I'm going to see if I can find it.
It's like, these videos of the Bigfoot when you don't know actually what happened. This famous video when you see like a great ape walking on his 2 feet
Yeah.
or river. If
Yeah.
it's dressed up or if it's really the Bigfoot we've just seen. It's you're never sure about that.
There's such a lot of debate about that. Yeah. Just so you get an idea. This is the one I think they're referring to. I'm going to share it on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Funny enough, I remember of a Lovecraft short story in it. I don't know if you read it. It was the Pickwick Model.
Oh.
And the story I saw was it's all about a painter who is known for his horrific paintings.
Ooh.
And the creature of his paintings looks like half man, half dog.
Huh.
So I don't know if it comes from, ooh.
You see what I mean?
Madness.
Yeah. It's not a great. There are better ones probably. I'm going to try and zoom in. Does it zoom in on your side?
Yeah, it's like it's actually standing behind the lamplighter.
Well, he's sort of lurching, isn't he? He seems to be about to topple over or something. What is he doing? It is odd.
It's
Because
really,
those legs, there's something about the way it's in mid-run.
yeah. It's like he's just stopping and just hold to the lamppost, or he's just gonna jump off.
But what is that? Why is there some kind of little wooden thing, like not a platform, but it's. You see, I think that's what's making people say, "Oh, but it's something fixed to a base."
The shadow. I thought it was a shadow, like not a plank, but you see the dark little line just underneath the thing. I thought it was the light from the lamppost, the shadow.
I think it is. Just wonder what it is. Like it is just all round. It's a strange photograph. Yeah.
Which date did you say? Was it in the 70s they made this picture?
It says 1961.
Wow.
So, like I was saying, it seems kind of unlikely, with the cameras as they would have been.
Huh.
But it's an interesting one. Yeah. It seems to have sort of crept up again into public consciousness. I mean, in a sense, there've been more and more reports of encounters popping up from the 1990s, but now it seems to have moved from Michigan to Wisconsin. So perhaps they found it quieter there.
They probably love the climate.
And then they've got cryptozoologists. And I came across this interview with a Chateaunois who actually hunts out these dogmen or follows up reports and investigates them. And as she says, yes, a lot of these are hoaxes, a lot of these reports are not genuine, but then you get a percentage that are very definitely somebody has seen something. Could be a kind of animal that we simply haven't, identified properly yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's quite interesting. She talks about, based on what they have been able to discover, The Dogman is a bipedal canine. They always stay canine. They don't transform into a human being. They do have the ability to go down on all fours, and there is a reason for this. They have different hunting strategies as quadruped or bipedal. And then she's describing how a typical aspect of this hunting strategy is one of the group will go and lie down in the road as though it's been hurt. So the driver will slow down the car, get out, and as they go up to approach it, then of course that's the moment for the rest of the group to come out.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's the hunting strategy she's talking about.
But these, if this sort of thing occurred, let's imagine if they hunt, you could see blood, you could see pieces, or even traces of any reports about missing people or people who have been found dead, like they've been chased or...
Well, because then you see reports that are put down to, attacked by a bear, attacked by wild animal. They went off the trodden path and ended up, in the outbacks of the forest, and tough luck. In the forest, there's so many ways to go missing. That seems to be one theory. And then she describes an encounter she had. I was in my Jeep Wrangler and I was about to go up the on-ramp. My headlights, which I had set to bright, were shining in front of me, and what I saw was headlight, thick furry leg, tall grass, thick furry leg, headlight. And my eyes proceeded to travel up as far as I could. The hair I could distinctly see it, it was a blackish brown. The fur was thick, but obviously matted in areas. And she judges the height of this creature to have been about 7 foot.
Huh.
Yeah, because that's what makes it interesting, is when they appear to be these super tall creatures, bigger than your average dog, bigger than your average, well, unless it's a wolf standing on its hind legs, like dogs do occasionally.
Wow.
And then they very often can be 6 foot, 7 foot. We're talking big doggies here.
Wow.
Mm.
Do you ever feel like the big secret is that we are gods?
I was wondering, I don't know why, probably it's wrong, but I was thinking, does her grandmother, when you see the flashbacks, she seemed to be like in a village. Was her grandmother or mother was implied to be witches or shaman or...
They seem to suggest that. And then they don't go into it. It's sort of like hovering on the edge, but there's some kind of mystery around that, which I also liked. I would have liked to, understand a bit more about that.
But that's why I was thinking, is it not a bit of horror? Because sometimes you have this eerie sounds, the brrrr,
Yes.
that I was thinking there will be a moment she would kill actually her husband and her child, because at the very beginning she's really, on the edge.
If you wake him up, I will rip your throat out.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
she doesn't know who she is. She is, but then I really love actually the resolution of everything. For the first time, the husband, and most of these movies, sometimes the husband, can be not comprehended and, not comprehend anything about his wife. And suddenly you realize actually there was a miscommunication coming on. And for the first time, I love the scene when they speak to each other. And at the end, when they said, I need a separation, because this is the moment, this is really hard. It's a very hard decision. And what's great is that it helps the dad to understand and to realize actually was not as often with his boy. And I'm not a dad, and mostly I'm an uncle. But I could relate about his reaction, when he tries to take care alone of the kid.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he comes back and you see it's very overwhelming and sad for him. He's like, he doesn't seem to like me. And I can relate on that. Because you want to take care of them, you want to be loved, that you want to have the best time with them, offer them the best time, and you realize you're like, I'm not doing the best I could, or probably she doesn't like me, or he doesn't like me, and I could relate to that. It's, even though I'm just an uncle, it's the feeling, you want to please, the kid, and you realize like, Damn, I'm not doing this well. I don't know. It's very funny to say it early because my niece is just 6 months.
Yeah.
Still. And of course, the kid, when they do the painting in the house, he puts his hands on the wall and says, no, 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 stop it, stop that. It reminds me of my own work when I work with kids, when you try to entertain them and they actually take the fun too far. When you put the painting all over the place.
Yes.
It was great. This is the first time I could see Amy Adams playing a mother. It's rare to have these intimate moments like this. I love also the scene when she starts to make friends, even though she doesn't want to, with the other moms. And I love when everyone, talks about the experience and one of them say, oh, yeah, I was a stripper before. Everyone is like, like we do not judge, but suddenly it's like, yeah, I was a stripper before.
Definitely, we get it. I used to be a stripper. The before times.
I am Nightbitch.
You're so dirty. Where did you go?
I went for a run.